fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Hurry, way downtown. Bang! Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Is this the dagger?
Harden rocking it in Philly. Celtics throwing their hat in fully. DeMarcus starting again. Clippers showing up every day. Here together, far and near, as always. It's #NBA podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We are back at it again with episode 12 of the season 5. And let's just say we can hear each other much clearly after uniting in Bangalore not too long ago. In the association this week, James Harden showed up in Philly ready to bring about the new era Kobe Shaq duo. Boston Celtics kept up the promise of doing unpredictable things mid-season, going on a 19-3 record this year. And DeMarcus Cousins returned to the starting lineup for Denver in the most DeMarcus way with a 31-9-4 stat book. Speaking of returns, I've got with me, as always, someone who spells prodigal like Portugal, someone who never books return tickets unless they are dirt cheap, and someone who has never regurgitated in his entire life, my co-host Vineet.
Wow.
I'm sure some of them are very, very true.
None of them are true.
None of them are true. That's impossible.
Well, the impossible has happened, my friend.
It's hard to happen one day. Vineet? Can you display the merch for people?
Buy from link in bio. That's not true. We have nothing to buy.
Not there. No, don't go to link in bio to buy. There's no link to buy. But we will give away some of these t-shirts. Not the ones you're wearing. We're not going to do that to you. We'll give you new ones. Because they're shipped directly to your place. Especially if you live in metro city.
But maybe people want the ones that we won,
I don't think so.
True fans.
But if you do, then, please go for it. It'll probably be free. We'll send it to you for free if you want the ones right off our backs. But don't do it. Like, we'll never be able to look at you the same way again. So, don't do that. Vineet, what is up? You're back in Coorg now, I'm sure.
Yes.
And we're just complaining about the weather. How is this possible? Like, how can climate affect the climate change warrior that you are?
I think just today it's just been extremely hot inside. And otherwise it's been pretty good weather. But just today I've been sweating all day and not the best weather. Yes.
Vineet, like a lot has happened in the NBA. Not that much, but at least like some of the major ones, like Harden coming, doing the trade. That trade definitely going in favor of the 76ers. Like, no doubt. As of now, Harden looks like Sylvester Stallone is completely fit. He's doing whatever he wants. I think they lost one game to the Heat, was it? I think they lost the game to the Heat, but they beat the Bulls today. More or less, it's been like smooth sailing for them. And they are getting the tougher schedule soon. So, first of all, congratulations for that thing. Obviously, Ben Simmons hasn't still suited up to play. So, right now, that trade really looks like Daryl Morey.
Congratulations for what?
For predicting that 76ers would be the
okay.
The winners of that trade. So, first impressions on the new look 76ers.
I predicted it, as always. No, I think
I
it's
guess
good.
some injuries are in store for 76ers. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, no, not necessarily true. But I think that, James Harden, I'm a big James Harden fan for a long time. I just think he's extremely, extremely skilled. He gets a bad rep for how he gets his points and, the kind of basketball he plays. But I would say that kind of basketball was more D'Antoni than what James Harden can do. And we saw that even when the Steve Nash thing was there, it was the same thing. Like, everybody didn't hate the Suns, but just felt like, what the hell are they doing? They had a system and they're just...
Why can't they play some defense?
7 seconds and quick, and it just felt like a little bit off. Which is why D'Antoni should be a top 15 coach of all time.
Amen.
So I'm happy to see that finally they found somebody who is a good fit for James Harden, for what James Harden does and how he does it. I think the best player James Harden has played with was Chris
Kevin
Paul.
Durant.
I think No, I mean like when James Harden was James Harden.
Oh, okay.
Was Chris Paul, but then it wasn't like the best fit, right? In this, they both played different positions. They play different ways of attacking the rim. Both very dominant in what they do.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about this. I think, I like Joel Embiid. I think he's extremely skilled in the post. And I feel him and James Harden, if they can. I mean, obviously now it's new. You don't know what ego issues will come up, but it just seems like James Harden is okay with Joel Embiid getting his 40 points every game, till Harden is getting his 11, 12 assists, and we know Harden can drop like 2 months of 40 points straight anytime he wants. So I think it's just a matter of both of them chilling.
I remember you had that prediction about James Harden in February or March going on one of his James Harden-esque runs. Obviously, at that point, I don't think we thought that he would, get traded to the Nets. I mean, the 76ers. But like whatever I see, I've seen 2 games. I saw the first game that he played, and the game was like very easy for him. I think having like Joel Embiid's what is that word? Like magnetism.
Gravity.
Gravity. Correct.
It's called
exactly. Joel Embiid,
which player has the highest has had the highest gravity on a basketball field. This is post Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry probably has the highest gravity, but pre Steph Curry.
Pre Steph Curry. Don't tell me it's Tim Duncan, because
No, it's Dirk Nowitzki.
I should change my answer. I think it's always Dirk Nowitzki now. No, that in a way. But I think like you could see the freedom with which he was playing, because Joel Embiid's magnetism, the gravity is not in is not in James Harden's, where he exerts the most amount of influence. So it's very nice to see. Like you said, right now there's no ego issue, but and they really want success for the team together. Like they really want, like James Harden wants to empower Embiid and like be like, you get your points when you are dominating, killing it, and then give it back to me, and I will get you those easier points, and then get the like defenses scrambling. You don't have to be like the greatest defender ever. You just have to make sure that area is a little bit well protected. It's not like there are many great centers in the NBA right now. Like
and they also have excellent wing defenders.
Excellent
wing
defenders.
Like 3 people who are excellent.
Yeah, I mean, Maxi had one game where he had 30 points, and obviously was that Matisse Thybulle, winner of last year's Khan.
Danny
Kapoor,
Green, champion, 2-time champion.
He 3-time champion. No,
3-time champion. Lakers,
yeah, exactly. 3-time champion. Correct. 3-time champion. 3-time champion. Matisse Thybulle, Danny Green, and the greatest coaches player ever, Tobias Harris. I did feel that when they gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, that it was a little bit too much. But I mean, the initial returns have shown that they've absolutely not missed anything else. But it remains to be seen, because now I think from this point onwards, the 76ers are either the most toughest schedule ahead or the second or third toughest schedule ahead. So they're gonna get into the playoffs with a lot of proper, experience playing those tough games against teams which are winning. So, and right now, what are they? I think they're the 4th or 5th. I mean, they're ahead of the Celtics, so probably 4th seed. I think they should easily be able to either maintain this or get home court advantage in the first round, and then like they'll have to face Bucks, they'll have to face the Nets, and they'll have to probably they can bypass the Heat. That's the only, because of how the thing is played. So. It's I mean, I think they should be like full of confidence getting into this playoff series, is what I'm trying to say.
Imagine if you're KD, you left the Warriors to join Kyrie, and then you had James Harden, and then instead of like going and telling Kyrie, man, listen, you got to play, and like basically keeping James Harden at his side, he again picked Kyrie. It's just Kevin Durant has bad decision making, bro. That whole Oklahoma thing, right? Those three people are super weird. Westbrook is going through his own issues.
Oh my God.
My God.
Those are.
Do you still respect after his complete denial of his complete?
No, I mean, I think those are just. I think he's absolutely low on confidence. Like, it seemed. I think it feels like nobody has any faith in him apart from his family and his kids. Like, everybody has sort of given up on him. They are sort of expecting you know, even if this season is going to go horribly, like, even if that happens, none of the Lakers are going to take much of a hit for it. AD has been injured. LeBron James has done whatever he can do. So it'll all come down to being that this was the Russell Westbrook season, and that's why we just need to forget about it and move on. And I think they're going to do something with him. I mean, he has a player option for next year, $47 million. I don't think he's going to say no to it, but maybe he just might. I mean, if any of this is affecting him, like he's saying, like, if his kids are having problems coming to home games because people are shouting Westbrook and like insulting their father in front of him, it's uncomfortable to them. His wife is having issues on social media. If that is the case, then I think it's very possible that he might just say that, keep your 47 million. I'll go to some other place, and I don't want to play with so much vitriol being aimed at me like at all times. I'm not saying that he's completely free of guilt, because if you're an MVP, if you're a all-star scoring champion, assist leader, like if you're a top 75 legend, then unless you're like 35, 36 years old, you sort of have to like take that blame with you. Like, if something goes wrong, then it's gonna come on to you. AD's been very lucky. I think he was playing horribly, but if he's injured, then you really can't be like, oh my God, no, how could you be injured? Like, that's not really something that you can say. And LeBron, also, he's not been playing great, but he's getting his 30 points, 37 points.
Come on, stop it. LeBron's playing great.
No, he's not playing great.
Nobody on the okay.
Exactly. Okay. I'm just saying that LeBron is scoring these points, but are they really LeBron James points is what I'm trying to say. Like, he is not there's no effort on anything else apart from just scoring. I'm not saying that he's not scoring. I'm just saying that this is not LeBron James. But again, nobody's going to say anything about it because he's 37 years old. You can't expect him to be the bestest version of himself. So it's fine. It's understandable. Like, and he's got the point so that nobody can ever be like, oh, he didn't even do anything. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, it's not LeBron James, but whatever he's done, you can't really say that, no, he's not done anything. Like, he has done whatever he can. Whatever games they've won, whatever Chuninda games in their hands that they've won, this many games they've probably won, all because of LeBron James only. Man has to score 56 points against the Warriors and then win. And then you go and lose against the Pelicans, who have nobody. You go and lose against the Clippers, who...
But he didn't play that game, though.
He played the Pelicans game.
He didn't play against the Spurs.
Not the Spurs, Pelicans.
But wasn't the Pelicans before he lost to the
Yes,
Pelicans?
exactly. Today's Spurs. See, if he's not playing, there's no chance of winning. But even when he was playing, they went and lost to the Pelicans, who have nobody, who have like just got CJ McCollum. They're trying to figure it out. Where is my locker room? All that. They lost to Clippers, who don't have anybody except Reggie Jackson. And like, as a good team, very good team. But like, you should not be Portland Trailblazers. They lost to the Portland Trailblazers. Nobody was there on that team. So it's not like this has been a great season marked by Westbrook's thing, but Westbrook has been the biggest disappointment for them this season. He has got the most shit thrown on him. So I personally wouldn't be surprised if he says, no, I don't want this thing anymore. I'll find out some mid-level exception in the game season. This is whatever it is. I'll go play somewhere else and I'll have peace of mind, and I really don't care about anything. But personally, like you were asking, I was a little disappointed by those answers. What did you... Like, somebody asked him, I think, what was your expectation? And that was just a plain lie. That was a very plain lie to the degree. I mean, obviously, you don't expect to come to the Lakers with LeBron and AD and be like, my expectation was that at the 50 level games, we would have won 22, 23 games.
No, what he said was, I had no expectations. You had expectations. I had no expectations.
I think you tell me, what do you think my expectation is? Which is a very Ashwin Gopinath way to answer things. It's like deflect and then deflect and be like, okay, what did you think that I was thinking that you would be thinking that I would be thinking? It's like, wait.
Which is why I sent you. Which is why I sent it to you, saying like, this reminded me.
First of all, I think nobody on the internet needs to be sent these Westbrook memes. They're just there. Like, you open the your whatever app it is, even if you don't follow the Lakers, Westbrook memes start first and then everything else sort of happens. Like I think
No,
Westbrook has that
I didn't send you the
opposite of
meme. I sent you the interview question. The interview question.
No, yeah, on Twitter, I think DM Twitter. Finally, somebody slid into my Twitter DMs. But yeah, it's it is pretty. This is one of those like I think. I mean, I was saving this for end of the season sort of discussion, but I think like without any
The end has come.
the end has not. I'm saying that the person, like every year, there is some person whose legacy takes a huge jump because of what they've done this season, right? Like they've done something which, like normally they would be at this level, and then suddenly, boom, like taken to unbelievable levels. Like when Kawhi takes a Toronto team which has no chance at all, comes into a new team, their major star gone, all of that, and then he gets in the championship. It's just like wow. Till then, Kawhi was like, okay, but he got injured and then he really couldn't do anything, and the Warriors were amazing. But then in that season comes, like, literally goes to the NBA 71st team because of that amazing season.
Yeah, one year, yeah.
Beats everybody in the East, goes and beats the Warriors as well. Right. So I was thinking that Russell Westbrook this season has, like, for at least for like for the short term, people are gonna remember this season as one of the biggest drops in your stock value, as we like to keep saying that. Like whatever he had done till now, like whatever all the greatness that he had achieved individually as a team, like at 22 getting to the NBA finals, like having a good chance there, and then for the next 3-4 seasons consistently being one of the most toughest teams in the Western Conference. Like even at half strength they were pretty good, and then from there it's all become like a West brick meme, which is, I mean, it's not fair, but like this is the age that we live in. Like you do something great, people are going to be like, oh my god, the next great this, and you do something bad consistently for a season, things are I mean it's not, he's not helped his case much at all. Like you see those flashes of brilliancy, and then most of the other games he's become there's no confidence. I mean, even when he said that was the first thing that I thought, that Westbrook's entire game for me is based off of his inner confidence that nothing can stop him. But now I think that
second guessing himself.
Yeah, which is, I mean, how is it helping anybody?
Well, I think that there are two parts of it. One is I feel like as like Russell Westbrook played this phenomenal, like I don't know what the right word is. Is it cloak and dagger? But basically he started putting, once he realized, if I put a triple double, that is all they're going to talk about. Like once he realized this hack, he went for it. He said, this is my thing. I don't care. He went for it, like single-minded triple doubles. He just kept putting them, and that gave him that confidence that I'm a triple double machine. Like, because once you're at that level where you're just the triple double, like I think we have discussed this, is just such an arbitrary like stat line.
Yeah.
It doesn't talk about impact. It doesn't talk about like wins. It's just such an arbitrary stat line that we all think is such a phenomenal thing. But if you look at it, any very good player, if they really put their mind into it and wants to do it on a consistent basis, can do it. But I think Russell Westbrook took it to another level, and all his other stuff kind of got hidden because of that. And the last 2-3 years, I think those bad things are coming into light, and he doesn't have those triple doubles to mask it anymore. And then he goes into he was pretty much the same player he was in Houston and then in the Wizards team. Even though he didn't play that much, he was already in the decline, and then you put him into like the LA Lakers spotlight. Yeah, and then it's just like and actually this gave me something that I thought a plus point for Kobe, which is at that point maybe I wasn't that much into the NBA media stuff, so I didn't really pay attention to how much backlash Kobe was getting in 2004, 5, 6, 7, like the LA Lakers fans hated him
after Shaq
after Shaq left, after the alleged rape,
Sexual assault.
and sexual assault, sorry, and all of that, and he pushed Shaq out, and then the next season they didn't make the playoffs. Phil Jackson leaves, and I mean, I just didn't like Kobe at that time, so for me I didn't really pay attention to it, but I'm pretty sure that it would have been even worse for Kobe, because Kobe was like the homegrown kid, and he screwed it all up, and they had the Karl Malone, big four, big five that Kobe just couldn't gel with. He did the Pistons series, so like there was just so much shit about Kobe that I think it's pretty tremendous that he was able to like just take all of that and like come out in a positive way, because he did improve his game. His game went another level. He didn't like shy away like Westbrook did, right? Like Westbrook is now deflecting any responsibility. He's not taking anything on himself. He's not saying, okay, I can improve. Like, okay, I'm 33, but I'm also a phenomenal athlete. I'm a great basketball player. Let me like at least work on things that I can work on. And so I feel like I kind of had a more appreciation for what Kobe went through. That my point is that everyone was hating on him.
Okay.
And instead of him shying away from it, he said, you know what, I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to score the shit out of it. Like, and so then once people see that you're trying, right? Like,
correct.
See,
I agree.
We don't expect anybody to be superhuman, like other than LeBron, which is crazy, because people have such high expectations of LeBron even today. It's crazy. Like I don't think people expected Kobe to take that next leap. I don't think that expectation was there, because Kobe,
he
T-Mac, all of these
was just getting into his prime at that time.
Yeah, he was getting into his prime. So no one was expecting that, because everyone thought that after what happened and Shaq was gone, it's like, oh, he's nobody without Shaq, right? T-Mac was winning scoring, like AI won scoring championships. What do you call that?
Scoring championship. What is it called?
Scoring champion, yeah. AI was a scoring champion. Then T-Mac was a scoring champion. And so these people were the shooting guards that everyone was like, oh my God, these guys are great. Yeah. Right? And Kobe was like going through this bullshit, and I think that's why that people they were all going through this tragedy. The Laker fans were going through this tragedy of like, oh, we lost Shaq, oh, we lost Phil, oh shit. And I think like Kobe just said, all right, don't worry, I got all of you. And then I think that's why they have that kind of love, which I really wish Russell Westbrook did. I think
I don't think. I don't think. First of all, I don't think the Lakers fans think of Westbrook as their own. Like they think of him as someone who was traded here. So already there is nothing that like really. So it's clearly like, okay, you perform well, we are going to cheer for you. If you do badly, again and again and again, it's very meme culture driven thing, right? Like whatever happens, whatever lowlights are there to be shown for Westbrook, that gets shown much more often, because those are also higher in number. But I'm saying that I don't think it's fair to compare what Kobe had. No, I don't think it's fair to compare what Kobe had to go through, because back then even, I don't know. I don't even remember, but I know that Kobe was scoring hell a lot. He's like, I'll only do everything. Guys don't worry about it. And obviously that's why they ended up losing again and again. Like they had 3-1 leads up in the series. But because Kobe just said that I can't trust any of you guys to do anything like that. Which is what changed when Phil Jackson came back and then Kobe let loose the reins once again. But I don't think we should compare Kobe and Westbrook. And Kobe's.
No, I'm just talking about taking responsibility.
We're talking about the hate. That part I completely
the hate and taking and basically internalizing the hate and saying, okay, I'm taking responsibility.
Yeah, this is completely the opposite of what Kobe did. Like Kobe said,
exactly,
give me the anger, I will channelize it and get better, and I'll show you that all of you were wrong. Whereas Westbrook is like, I don't care about basketball. I have kids. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful life. You guys are all sad. Which is all true, but that's not why we. The reason that he's getting paid $44 million is not because we want his kids to have a nice house. Exactly. Yeah. So it's absolutely, it's a little bit sad that he's got, but because that's not how the old Westbrook would have. That's why I said, right, like the way he is answering itself is an indication that he doesn't believe in himself anymore. the old Russell Westbrook, if you've seen any of his interviews, he never even recognized that Steph Curry was a better player. Steph Curry said that James Harden should be MVP that year, the triple double year. He said, so what? Who's he? That is the sort of Westbrook who's like, that was his playing style and that was his like lifestyle as well. That was what he believed in as well. That who the hell are you to say anything? Now he's like, I don't care what you say, but he does care what he says. What does people say? Because he does care when people call him Westrick. He does care when people insult his kids with using his name, which is all, I mean, obviously that's not fair and all that, but it does affect him, but he's making it seem like it doesn't affect him, whereas what Kobe did was he's like, yes, bring it on. Say these things. I will listen to it again and again, and I will... but yeah, I mean, I feel Westbrook is like, he's no longer that... He's lost that confidence, man. Like, he's lost that... It's not that he's lost his lift or his athleticism. He's just lost that confidence. He's just lost that rashness that Westbrook used to have. And I mean, that was the thing that he had. So I don't know if he started concentrating on the things that he didn't have. Maybe people were like, oh, you don't have a jump shot, you should concentrate on that. But maybe nobody told him that you have this attitude, you have this thing that nobody has ever taught you, that is there in you. Don't lose it while trying to get something else. So somewhere it's a little odd. I mean, it's not odd, it's sad. As a Westbrook fan, for me, it's sad to see what made him Westbrook just be like, yeah. So that's the sad, because now I can't even defend it, because the answers that he's saying is like, yeah, this is not the Westbrook that I fell in love with. It's not that. This is not.
I thought you would take responsibility.
Yeah, I mean.
So who's your next guy, bro?
Next guy, I don't know. I don't know how to like pick the next guy. Like when in cricket, when I used to follow Lara, once Lara left, I just left cricket only. So now I'm a little scared. Like I have to find someone. For me, it was like, if it's a Westbrook sort of thing, I'm like torn between Trae Young and Ja Morant. That is my because I can't go back to Kevin Durant, because we don't go back to our exes. But Trae Young and Ja Morant. I hope my exes are not.
Why not Luka Doncic? Luka Doncic has.
I don't like Luka Doncic's play. I think he's great and all that, and he's been killing it for the past.
Killing it,
absolutely killing it. But I don't know. I don't like that sort of. That's not my sort of like.
That's not your vibe.
That's not my.
What about Jokic? Jokic
is great. Jokic doesn't need my support. I can't support Jokic also. He's like too unathletic for me. Effective as hell, man. My God, wherever he's going, he's doing.
No. We have to talk about him later. But okay, I'm trying to figure. Like, I think we should have a segment on picking a good.
Picking good player, yeah, definitely. I think that's
a replacement for Westbrook.
For me,
You got to find.
For me, I think I like Trae Young and Ja Morant. That is my two.
Ja Morant.
Those are who I can sort of be like, yes. Like they have the raw confidence, which is like, which is something that I really vibe with. But just like, I don't care. Like the way Morant jumps around, it feels like he has not got any fear about landing, which is, and Trae Young though doesn't give a shit about anything. But you never picked out anyone else, right? After a while, like, do you have?
No, I'm on Jokic. Kawhi was there, but he's fucking injured all the time. So Jokic is my man.
Jokic is your guy. You can't go wrong with Jokic. Like such an opposite of you. Such an opposite of you. Like this guy just passes and you never pass. It's unbelievable.
What? It's ridiculous.
Jokic is ridiculous. That assertion of mine was not.
I don't pass to you because that's a different thing. I would rather take the shot than give it to you. Why would I pass the ball to you?
Anyway, but which was the game I saw? Jokic was when he had some 30 points in OT and fourth quarter.
Oh, it was against the last
Pelicans.
game. No?
Last game, exactly. Yeah. Masterfulity of the first order. And then I am like, people are like, Joel Embiid is the clear winner MVP. I'm like, he's definitely not the clear winner. Maybe he's a very clear second, and I am very fine with Joel Embiid being a very clear second. But the clear winner, easily, in all ways, the most valuable player to that team. That team has absolutely nothing to do without him. No chance in hell.
Such a horrible team without him. My God.
And
Like
yeah.
he makes the pick and roll with what's his name, Monty Morris look like they're Stockton and Malone. You know, it's like as effective.
Stockton is a 7 foot Jokic, and Malone is a little Monte Morris running around.
Oh my god, what a player!
I
Man.
think he gets the ball in
Seriously.
that low post. It's like, okay. So recently I've seen this thing. I mean I don't know if you buy into this thing, but that Jokic has, no, not Jokic. Joel Embiid has become as effective in scoring as Kevin Durant. Like in that little 16, 17 foot region and all, incredible.
Spin moves, yeah.
In that touch that he's got, it's incredible. And because of his size, he, like, little one bump and boom, space is there, boom. Something has improved. And Jokic in that little between, the 5 to 10 feet sort of area, he gets the ball. The decision that he makes almost always the right
It's a
decision.
good decision.
Yeah, correct decision that he has to make. It's incredible. Like, he just sees the game so slowly. It's unbelievable. I think if today was the deadline, and if I had a vote for MVP, though Jokic will. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Because I mean, even with like having now Harden on the team, like the Embiid, like the Philadelphia 76ers are just like one win away from Jokic's team, and Denver plays in the West, so
Which is not the stronger conference this season.
not the strongest. But there is a very strong case for Luka that no one's talking about. But I think that if Luka continues the way he's
Continues, yeah. If continues, then he could be in the conversation, because Mavericks suddenly have again started doing that thing. They're doing the Boston Celtics thing now. And Boston Celtics, my God, unbelievable. I can't. I'm not going to say anything about the Boston Celtics because they have ruined my heart many times. But what a 2022 they've had. It's unbelievable. They've lost 3 games in 22 games. Everybody is.
None, they're
I
playing
mean,
really well.
I think a lot has to do with like Jalen Brown also coming back from injury and the team sort of having this thing. But I want to give all credit to my little underhanded pick. What is his name? Derek White. Derek White came in and what a great addition.
But Derek White didn't play 22 games.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He played 19 games and they won all 19 games. No, that's not true. But having him, I think now he's playing with that headband also. So like it's little.
Oh, headband White.
Headband White. White headband Derek White. It's nice to see Celtic play well, man. Like watching Jason Tatum shoot the ball. It always reminds me of Kobe, like his footwork and his just the blind
actually, you're
confidence
right,
that he has.
He's got a very sweet jumper, not jumper, but I don't know. That's
That jump shot release, that sort of release.
jump shot, yeah. It got very smooth, very sweet. So I have a question for you.
Oh
my friend.
yes, I was waiting for that one.
Well, I mean, I think the MVP discussion in terms of what do you think about the Miami Heat's players not being considered for the MVP discussion at all?
I don't think they're
So
they
my
should
thing
have a
with
team of the.
Miami.
Please go for it.
Okay, so the question really is like the top teams, right? Miami Heat. This is very unique. Miami Heat, the Suns, Warriors, and
Memphis.
the Bulls have fallen off now, but
Memphis
Bulls were
and,
there. Memphis, right. All these teams, they're playing really well. They have some kind of best player, but these players are not considered in the MVP discussion, which is very unique in this season because most of the seasons, like one of the top teams, the best player is usually at least considered in the MVP discussion.
Correct.
So what do you think? What's happening? Like, why is that? Sudden shift?
I think none of those players have stood out very individually. I think the only player who you could say maybe Steph from the Warriors and DeRozan from the Bulls probably are the only people who have the numbers to back up their winning things, right? Like that's why we have a Jokic. Team is not in the top 4 in the West, but his numbers are incredible. And I'm not just talking about like the advanced numbers, which can sort of confuse people because most of us don't even know what it means. But basic numbers also crazy. He's clearly the reason why they have as many wins that they have. Right? With the Suns, you have the issue of like, is it Devin Booker or is it CP3? So now you don't have a clear. I don't think there's a very clear answer as to who the most important valuable player on that team is, because I think they've sort of been injured at the same time. Maybe Devin Booker has been like played a couple of more games than CP3.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't really say anything, and none of them have had like a 30 points, 5 assists sort of season. They've had decent numbers, playing very well, but I don't know. And who else is there? Memphis, Ja Morant also
Miami
was
Heat.
in that. Miami Heat
I don't know why Ja Morant is.
Yeah, Miami Heat. Ja Morant had that little case when that there was this week where people were like, Ja Morant, if he continues like this, will be in that season and it will be in that consideration. I don't know. Miami Heat, all I can think of is that their main player has not played that many games for him to be considered, and you can't really put Tyler Hero in the MVP conversation. So that's the only thing that because I know that Jimmy Butler has not played that many games.
No, and it's also going to be even more interesting now that Oladipo is back. I mean, that team is now loaded.
I mean, this Oladipo thing is.
I mean, Oladipo off the bench with Tyler Hero, I think that's a great combination.
It's a great combination on paper, but I don't think Oladipo is going to be back to that Oladipo, like the 2012 second pick of the season, killer guy for Orlando Magic. Right, 2012. I think he was the season after Kyrie. I think he's not that.
No, I mean that was not his best season. Is my point.
I'm saying that 2012, like the one guy who came with that potential, like Pacers, he was killing it, and Magic, he was absolutely killing it. I don't know if that is possible, but because
wasn't he on OKC also for some time?
Yeah, he was there for 1 year. The year Durant left that year. What do you think? Like, who is if you had to put one player from Miami, because it is necessary for the top team in the conference to have someone in that running, because otherwise it's like saying
it's very weird with this Miami Heat. Like, why? I just don't know. I just don't know. I looked at the numbers and I was trying to figure out who can be so important, but I just feel like they just have a bunch of players who all of them are like really good. They play their roles really well, and that's why I think they don't shine as much as you would want it to shine. And I think I haven't watched that many games of Miami Heat, so I don't know what they
even I haven't watched many of the games, because most of the games are like 5:30 in the morning. Most of them.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the most interesting storylines that no one is really covering. Because we talk about the Nets and the Bucks is playing really good, but still Miami is winning more consistently, more. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think, I like you said, Miami, there are stories that can be made, but there is no one who's doing such a great job that you can be like, this person. And which is incredible, because their major people have been absent for, there's not been many games where all of the major teams have played together. Because before the season, we were talking about, are Heat going to be the dark horse or are the Bulls going to be the dark horse? The Bulls have become the dark horse because their players have played a lot of games together. But Miami are the top seed in the East.
It's amazing.
With Jimmy Butler playing fewer games and Kyle Lowry not playing that many games. Bam Adebayo being injured at the time. Tyler Hero being that main guy for them. So
Tyler Hero being I think Tyler Hero is the highest scorer average wise.
Yeah, I think 21 points, 22 points something is crazy.
20 points, off the bench.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, I think it's a very, in that case, what I would think is a very empowered team. Like, they don't really have any sort of thinking, I need to get my 30 shots. So you better give me the ball 30 times so that I can get my 30 shots. I don't think that sort of a feeling is there.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous for Bucks, because Bucks always struggle against the Heat
No, they demolished the Heat last time, right?
Yeah, but that time I don't think somebody was.
Or they demolished them 4-1 or something.
4-1, 4-0. I think they beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But the season before that, Miami had given them trouble. Right? They beaten them.
They did the wall. They came up with the wall concept.
Correct.
Giannis has taken so many leaps ahead after that.
Correct. But I still think that sort of a defense will at least force them to think differently. I mean, that's all you can do with the Bucks. You can just force them to change their style and then see how they cope up. Because last year when they won, I think they lost the first game of all the series, and then they sort of figured it out. They sort of figured out that this is how we can, which is the sign of a good team, that you face adversity, but you understand that I just have to and you don't have to lose confidence, because that game they lost against Atlanta, that could have been really soul crushing for them, because they had the shimmy shake from Trey, and then losing at home game 1 to the lower seed. That could have been weird, but they came out well against that as well. And even the finals going down 2-0 and then winning the next 4 games. So they have that pedigree, but I think a healthy Heat is probably the
toughest challenge for them.
Toughest challenge. But I do think that the Nets also, 76ers also, because Embiid is there and Harden is there. So it'll come down to a lot of the defensive prowess of Middleton and Drew Holiday, who's probably the best. Small.
Giannis versus Embiid will be a good matchup, one-on-one matchup.
Correct. Because they're both very hungry to beat each other as well, I feel. They don't want to. And Giannis has the confidence, but Embiid has key. Listen, man, now it's my time. Let me do something.
And I think Embiid is more skilled. Embiid can really score in many ways than.
Yeah, but Giannis is a little more he's I want it a little bit more. Yeah, and Giannis has.
He wanted more.
Yeah, he has that little
more hunger.
Correct. From eating all those African foods, which he talked about us on the reel, which is yet to be released.
By the way, our viral reel is still going viral, which is great.
I was telling Ramya, listen, if you want some tips on virality, you just have to ask us. We'll tell you.
Now, so when I was asking those questions, I just thought, oh my God, it's so cringe, Vineet, you're asking such standard bullshit questions. But now I just feel like,
who knew that is exactly what?
Exactly what?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I just didn't know what else to ask them. I couldn't ask them some.
No. See, I'm sure that you were also as excited as a kid in a candy shop. You were oh my God, I can't believe these people are right here. I wish I was here 5 years ago so I could see Tim Duncan. Any of those feelings. But
you know what I realized? We should have pushed for the Cleveland one. I think they would have given us, and I just realized that, man, we could have met all these greats. That 75 thing, it didn't even strike me.
I'm sure they would have given us the pass. It's just that you would have to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, I would not go. You could have gone.
I could have gone. They're not giving free flights now.
Arey, the jugaad maar na kya, sir.
Anyway.
One comedy show.
One comedy show, yeah. Some 5 people will come on the comedy show. Need to promote it big. Anyways.
Yes.
Vineet, that's all I think I have for this pod. This is episode 97. This is episode 97. So hopefully when you come back, we will be able to record something special for episode 100.
Yes, hopefully.
When are you coming back?
I don't know.
Great answer.
All depends on my leg now.
Yes.
I hope it's not like a surgery kind of thing. That would suck. It doesn't look like it, because I can move and I can walk. If you can move and you can walk, then it's not really a surgery thing.
Yeah, but really, none of us are doctors, so just show it to someone. There might be something. There might be something to it. I'm sure you've not shown it to a doctor.
No. I've not shown my legs, my ankles to a doctor for since that thing that happened. I'm afraid that he'll just look at it and he'll be like, oh, we need to cut your legs. This is too bad.
What? Hopefully that's not the case. Because, losing a leg is pretty challenging. I don't know if you understand the limitations. People will be looking at it. Wow, you've got a leg with a wheel on it. Oh, can I touch it? I would do that. I'd be like, can I touch it? Anyway, that's all we had for this pod. If you want these shirts, please message us, and then we'll know that at least you reached this end. Send us money. It's I think it'll be $450 with shipping, so don't worry about money.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't really want any money, but
that's what it costs.
It costs $450. We're not making it, so if you can make it for cheaper, then please, I'll send you the design. You make it for free, sell it, and keep all the money to yourself only. Or give 5% to charity. Take it and go. Oh, enjoy life. There are people who are going to pay.
It's actually a good t-shirt. It's blue, red. It fits good.
Right. Correct, absolutely. It's almost looks like a Detroit Pistons. If you're a Detroit Pistons fan, hit us up, and we will give it to you for 450 rupees. And yeah, till then, I mean,
Cool.
like, share, subscribe, do all the jazz. We will have our next episode ready by next week because we are all like traveling inside the country and hopefully.